Imagine a place where you can unwind and relax. IKEA can help you turn your bedroom into a calm oasis. From comfy mattresses to the perfect lights, we've got everything to create your dream bedroom so you can sleep like a baby. And the best part? All at incredible prices. Head to IKEA and grab everything you need. Get ready to rest, dream, and wake up feeling refreshed. Shop today at your local store or at ikea-usa.com/sleep-es and get it delivered straight to your door with our convenient delivery services. And you were formerly known as Miss Diddy, right? What was that like for you when you shifted and like removed that name from you? Because that's why a lot of brands like don't attach themselves sometimes to celebrities.
100%. I lost a deal behind it.
Hi, I'm Crystal Vega.
Hi, I'm Amanda Booz,
and this is Elevators Podcast,
where we talk about the peaks and valleys of life's journeys, from relationships, entrepreneurships, friendships. We talk about it all and give you a little taste of social media's sizzling hot topics, all from the lens of modern womanhood. And we're here with a special guest.
A very special guest. Yes. Honestly, I was tripping though because I don't even think I can introduce her. She has done so much and nothing I say will do it justice. So let's just welcome Candis Grace.
That's right. Hey, Candace.
Welcome.
She keep bringing this Miami sunshine with the suit.
She sure did.
She gave us the sun.
I gave y'all
giving vibes.
Black girl boss.
Sure did.
LA Lisque.
I love it.
I want to do this. I want to I want to be a part of you guys' intro. That little cute intro. I want to be like the third girl having an intro time every time y'all do an intro.
Come on. Come in. You're welcome anytime.
You're welcome anytime. Thank y'all for having me. I'm so proud of y'all. I want to say that.
Thank you.
I think you guys are phenomenal, incredible. What you're doing matters, and you guys look beautiful doing it, but you guys are brilliant, and I'm happy to be here with you guys.
Thank you. We're so excited to have you. And I literally am not joking when I say nothing I say like as an intro for you will do you justice, because you have done so much in this industry. So please, for those who are listening, for those who are living under a rock, who is
They
Candis
need to wake
Grace?
up. They need to wake up.
Tell us.
I don't even know how to answer that question.
And you thought I was going to answer it.
It wasn't even a stunt, I swear.
Let's start from the top.
I don't even know what I realized I had this conversation recently with a really great friend. It's like, I've lived a lot of lifetimes, if that makes sense, like a lot of lives in my lifetime. So it's just so many different things and moments. And I don't think I realized it until like, I'm sitting having a conversation. Someone's like, you remember, da, 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 da. And it's like, oh, that was a time. But yeah, ultimately, I'm a marketer. I'm an entertainment marketer for all intents and purposes. And there's a lot of things that fall under that. But that's the way I can like sum it up.
Oh my God, nice and sweet, short and sweet. But you have worked with so many different people and brands, from like Adidas to Netflix, Kevin Hart, like you name it. Low key, I feel like you have done business with them in some sort of way. Yeah. And quite frankly, you have built an empire from those relationships. So can you tell us, like, what's the most unexpected or unlikely connection that you've made that honestly just changed your career forever?
I think that's a tough question to ask, because my business is relationships, and it's a lot of people that fall under that, kind of that construct. So for me, it's a couple people that come to mind most times when I have this type of conversation. But I will say this, and this may be an unpopular kind of opinion for what he's going through and things now with the media, whatever the case may be. But I will say Russell Simmons. I was a promoter. Well, I'm going to always be a promoter at heart. Where you start is who you are, right? It's a part of your story, and it's forever. And I started doing a comedy show with Russell Simmons, and having the ability to be that time in my career and to have a client that's a Russell Simmons, and he just let me run with it. Like, it was no like, oh no, don't use my name for this. No, he just let me run with it. I feel like he believed in, and always did, believe in like what I was doing, how hard I worked, what I was bringing to the table, how I was showing up. And so I will say Russell Simmons, obviously same thing, unpopular opinions, but obviously Kanye West, of course, as well, early on in my career. But I think when things really started shifting for me, it was around the time I was doing All Def Comedy Live, the comedy show with Russell.
So you started
as a promoter. Can you walk us through that journey? How did you go from promoting to where you are now?
I mean, long story short.
You can give us the long version.
Yeah, I mean, I'm born and raised in LA, and growing up, I knew a lot of people, and sometimes you change cities where you live. Like, I grew up initially in Inglewood, then moved to Compton. So I went to different schools, you gather friends along the way, and so I just was a girl that knew a lot of people. That relationship part was really big for me. And so I started promoting, which was kind of like a natural thing for me to do. I knew what was going on, knew what was popping. I was outside. And so, started promoting it, and it became a real great business for me. But working under, like, Kanye and his team, really just seeing how they were and how they are and how genius they were with things really helped me to form, my marketing brand and also my brand in promoting. So for me, I wanted everything to be like a movie. It wasn't like, I didn't drink. I wasn't taking shots and whatever. I was the only girl, and I wanted it to feel like a movie all the time. And that was my brain, my mind in it. So naturally, you work hard, you do right by people, you're going to progress,
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
that's where it started, and it just kept climbing. It climbed from the All Def Comedy Live comedy show. That's when I started the brands group. That's when I started my company. I was like, oh, okay, I'm not just a promoter. And I didn't want to be known as just a promoter, even though I don't think anyone looked. I wasn't a party girl, even though I threw parties.
It's so crazy that you don't drink and you're always like in a party.
I drink now.
Oh, no.
No.
But back then.
Yeah. Give me a little Douce sidecar real quick.
Period.
Drop it right there. But no, I'm saying back then because I cared about what was going on. I was always concerned about being respected and being revered and being looked at as the business person that I was growing to become. So that was always at the forefront of my head. So that's why too.
Yeah. No, and I love that you were thinking that way
at a young age.
At a younger, point in your career, because sometimes people start thinking about that when it's a little too late. But I feel like as women, we're not granted that option.
You don't have that luxury.
You don't have that luxury at all. Like, you have to think about who misunderstood the way you way you dress, the way you said hi. If you said hi a little too cute, they're like, oh, she's into me.
And it turns in, it's like, no. Just personable.
Just polite. Because also, if you're not polite, you're the complete opposite.
Oh, my God.
We never win.
The balancing act.
We can never win. We can never win for losing.
The balancing act, for real.
Balancing act.
I want to take it back to you recently rebranded yourself, and I want to talk about the brand group and how that came about and what was the inspiration for you wanting to start it.
Yeah, that was around promoter days, me going to All Def Comedy Live with Russell Simmons, and I needed to start a company. It was the next step. There was nothing that I could do. Actually, that was around the same time. I was thinking about something else I was doing at that time too that made me. But yeah, that was, it was just time. You know what I mean? And I didn't know what I was doing, but I knew that was the next step. I thought that was the next step.
No, and you, I think, were ahead of the game. Because I think now it's very popular to have your own brand and stuff and build your own company. But I have been watching you from the sidelines for a long time. You didn't even know it. But you have always been ahead of the game in terms of building yourself as a brand. So I really commend you for that.
Thank
because
you.
some people are just catching on and you're like, ooh, been here, honey.
Yeah.
Been here, seasoned in this realm.
I'm tired. And also being a marketer, being a publicist in a lot of forms and stuff like that, but I was also always talent. And it wasn't something I was trying to do. It just was a natural thing for me and my personality and who I was and who I am, and people wanted to do business with me. So I could still have a client, but the people wanted to do business with me, and that's something I couldn't turn off. It was a balancing act, of course, like we talk about, but that had to be worn as well, because building up, say at the time, the Miss Diddy brand was as equally as important to, that's why the brand group became what the brand group became. And a lot of girls, the girlies weren't doing that. Yeah. They didn't have, not like that, no disrespect, but the publicists and all that, they were the girls that kind of had their black their black leather jacket on, some jeggings and some flat shoes with running around, no real makeup on, a hat, just trying to get their client handled rightfully so. But I always was a fly girl. I always, you know, every time I stepped, that's who I am, you know. So you take notice of that, and that feels different. So I think I also elevated the game of even the way women show up in that space now, because before it wasn't. They were super casual, super no makeup. You got your hat on, your hair pulled to the back, which is fine.
Right.
But I think for me on the scene, it was like, oh, we could show up like that.
We could switch it up real quick.
We could switch it up. We need to look like something, you know?
Yeah. I love that. We talk about that a lot on the show, with just elevating you as a person. The things that you can do internally is not always just external of how you can elevate yourself.
Sure.
And I mean, Crystal, I want to kind of echo what Crystal was saying with you know, building this brand. You have had the sauce and had the sauce with working with different, you know, large companies. In this day and age, a lot of us are personal brands, and we're trying to work with a lot of the big brands that you currently are working with. So what advice would you give for people who are trying to kind of get in front of the faces of these big major brands to get recognition, to be like, okay, let me work with this person? Like, what kind of elements do you feel like people should be working on to be able to get in that space?
You know, I get this question often from like women, like young not girls, but like young women influencers and stuff like that. And like, for me, it's like, one thing for certain is like, do you want to twerk or work? You can't do both. Like, and we all want to be sexy and give the vibes and all that. You know, right? Because it's like, damn.
No, twerking. But it's the truth. Yeah. It's true, especially like depending on like what what space you work in.
Yeah. Now it depends on what you want to do. For me, I only care to be the best. I only want to work with the best. I only want to be around the best. I only want to do the best thing. I'm number one. I'm not interested in number two. I'm not interested in looking like I'm number two. And I like to deal with high-level clientele and business, because that's where I see myself and want to make sure that that's understood in the world. So for me, you have to remember, as soon as they look you up, what do they see? What do they see? What do you want people to understand you or know you as, you know? And in a world full of like your OnlyFans and stuff like that, sucks, because it's like, listen, you're either going to go down that path, but you can't work with Pepsi.
That's true.
Right.
So fine, do that. Like, I could have probably made I know I wasn't ready. I could have made.
Look, we be seeing these numbers sometimes, and we're like, dang, that's what people are making on the internet. Yeah.
What do you mean?
Yeah.
But what are you doing it for? Do you want the long road, you know? And how sacrificial are you willing to be for where you're trying to go? You know?
I love that you said that, because I feel like this generation now, the people that are on TikTok and all these different apps that are coming up aren't really thinking about the end game, and aren't thinking about 10 years from now when you have kids, what can your kids find of you on the internet, and the things that, you know, that you put yourself out there by. So I love that you're saying that, because we just want to inspire, you know, young girls, and be mindful of like the young content creators and younger brands that are trying to come up and develop themselves, that you don't have to just do something for a quick dollar. No. Like, you literally can
quick dollar is just that.
Literally.
Yeah.
You know, I'm a business person. I'm not a singer. I'm not a rapper. I can rap. I'm not.
Oh, we gotta get a little freestyle. We gotta do a freestyle.
But I don't have those things to fall back on to say anything can happen, and I can put out a hit single. The world forgets about it. We keep rolling. Now I'm back lit. I'm back hot. I'm a business person. So the only thing I have to fall back on is how well I do business, how good I am in my business world, how good I am to people in my business, and I don't have the other things to fall back on. So I don't have the luxury, as we're saying, to just be out here all willy-nilly, like the old heads say. You know, it doesn't mean I don't want to wall out, have a good time.
But also, especially as women of color.
100%.
Y'all, like the
we get looked at. Let's be real. We get looked at differently.
No, we definitely do. I was trying to watch my words. You saw that?
Yes.
Yeah, I was like, but trying to find it.
We gotta call it what it. We gotta say what it is. It is what it is.
So like, there's the fact that we're women in general, but on top of that, women of color. Like, there's just certain things that we do not get away with. No. We do not slide when it comes to, quite frankly, anything. So I love that you're talking about how, like, at the end of the day, what you have to land on is who you really are, your character, and what you want to be known for, because that's super important. You also kind of like grazed over this previously, but like, you did the rebrand and you are about business, and then you were formerly known as Miss Diddy, right? What was that like for you when you shifted and like removed that name from you, because that's why a lot of brands like don't attach themselves sometimes to celebrities,
100%,
because
I lost a deal behind
then
it.
it's like, so let's talk about it. I think that's important.
Wait, you said you lost something?
I lost a deal behind.
Oh, wow.
Still, yeah. But, you know, for me, it's extremely emotional. Still is. You know, when you say it, it's just triggering something in me now. But, I mean, for all intents and purposes, that's the name that I built up for a very long time. And that's what you're here to do, build it up. And I built it up. And then I have to now tear that down. Not tear it down, because it is what it is, and it'll forever stand. And it is my name. It's my nickname. Everybody call me that forever. But it's super emotional. But it's also, it's important that you're clear about where you are, where you're trying to go, and what has to happen in the middle of that. Because things change, life changes for everybody. And you'd be a fool to think that something for you doesn't change. You know what I'm saying? And so even when it comes, like, it's crazy. I flew my videographer out when I was in Atlanta. When I made the announcement, I was on the phone with him the day before. Was it the day before? Probably like the day before that I was going to drop the announcement, which I didn't know I was going to do it until the day before. I'm like, man, but it was coming. I had some of my really, really close friends. I literally had like a name committee. It was like Tamika Mallory, Lauren London, Kenya Barris, actually. DJ Clark King, God rest his soul.
You had the ultimate committee.
Nice, yeah, because we were going like, what's about to happen? Like, what are we doing as far as your name goes and what you've done?
When you hear a good idea, it's natural to do a double take. That's what you might do when you hear Discover will automatically double the cash back you've earned on your credit card at the end of your first year with Cashback Match.
Wait, what?
Yup. Double the cash back is something so good, you might do a triple take. It pays to Discover. See terms at discover.com/credit card.
And I'm like, I literally flew him out. I'm like, Kern, I need you here because I need this drop and this video and how I dropped this to look and feel the way I need it to feel. I can't have another person doing this. You're the only person that understands me this way. And dropping is, I mean, it's still a change that I'm trying to adjust to. My personal name, my real name is special to me. It's my grandmother's name, and my life is public. And that wasn't for everybody. But, you know, I still don't like when people are like, Candace, I'm kind of like,
yeah.
But it had to happen. It was necessary. And a part of being a successful person is doing what's necessary.
Mm-hmm. Yep, and pivoting for sure. If you could go back, would you have not attached yourself to?
But I didn't attach myself. That was my name. My name is Candace. They call me Diddy. So it wasn't that.
Oh, see, because I think people from the outside
Look,
looking in don't know that.
And that's why. And it's like, it's nothing. And I wouldn't change that for the world. Why would I change that?
Yeah.
That's you know, things are happening now, but like there's things that we also can't deny, you know, and you know, I don't like to get into that because there's so much happening with that, but I would never change that. I would never change even that name being, you know, of course now, but it's a part of the journey. And to be honest, I wouldn't be as big as I am without having that name, because people remember that. There's a million Candaces in the world. That's why I don't like when people say Candace. That's why I like Candis Grace, because from the branding component of it, stamping your name, there's 3 million. I mean, how many Candaces is it?
Yeah.
So many. I went to high school with 8 Candaces.
Jeez.
Swear.
Yeah, I'm like, probably Candy, like there's like different names.
We called each other's last names. So it was like Candace Ballesteros, Candace Green, Candace Gray. I'm Candace. We went to school with 8 Candaces. So
it was just a easy for outsiders looking in, an easy correlation to make, because
100%.
you are a business
I'm the woman. I'm the
and you
I'm
was
a
moving
hustler.
and shaking,
Yes, exactly.
and you know, from the outside looking in, it was just a quick, easy.
I wouldn't change that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thing to make.
Thank you for sharing that too, because I know it's like a vulnerable and a tough topic to discuss, but we appreciate you for sharing that, and we love the brand that you have been building. And I think a lot of people want to know some stuff about entertainment, right? So we know the entertainment industry is smoke and mirrors sometimes, right? So what would you say is like a misconception about the entertainment industry that people don't know?
Everything is smoke and mirrors. It's not just entertainment. You know what I mean? The CEO of so-and-so at Walmart or healthcare companies, look what just happened. You know what I mean? It's like everything is smoke and mirrors in some kind of form. You just get to live it. It's just a living out loud. It's more vibrant in the entertainment industry. But I think what people yeah, there's good and bad in everything. There's good and evil in everything. But one thing I know for certain is that I watch a lot of my friends become multimillionaires out of the entertainment industry. That's huge. So it's something I'll never look at in a bad light. Yeah. You know, you choose the person that you want to be in this world and how you show up and where you are. So, you know, those things that you want to be a part of the smoke and mirrors, that's you. That's on you. You decided to be that type of person. Like when people come to LA, like, LA's so fake. I'll be like, go back home. We don't want you there anyways. It's not fake. It's that you came here, lost your focus. And now everybody's to blame because you didn't stay aligned with what you came to do. Like, no, people don't love to be accountable.
It's also the easy way out. Because people said that when I moved to New York, they're like, oh, you're not, you might not make it, and I'm there for 5.5 years. I'm like,
I love New York.
Same. Love New York. Yeah, same.
So in entertainment industry, I guess like entry position would be production assistant, like interning. Like what does that look like for the spirits industry?
Okay, so I worked in the spirits industry for over 10 years at this point, and I feel like the entry point there is to understand the world. I think people look at these roles that people have in the spirits company and it looks glamorous to them, and they don't understand it's a true business. It's a huge business. It's not just you out drinking, taking shots, and trying to be cute in front of a picture. There's a real true business that has to be involved, and there's a lot of relationships that you have to have in order to be, well, definitely at my level, you know. And I've worked with a lot of brands. I've launched brands. I've worked with a lot of brands. I've worked on a lot of marketing and a lot of brands that I'm super proud of. And like I said, like earlier, I didn't even drink, so it wasn't like, for me, the drinking part. Everything that has to do with the spirits world is really celebratory. The feel of it is supposed to be celebratory. It's supposed to be business, signing a contract, and now we cheersed with this beautiful cognac or whiskey or whatever the case may be. And one thing, I used to work for Hennessy, and they would send us to Paris, to Cognac, France. So Hennessy owns cognac, which is where all cognac has to be made. So Hennessy is a lot bigger than what people understand it to be. And so
I'm sorry, Crystal. I always, because Crystal, that's her favorite drink.
You see me, right? I was like, tell me more.
Yes.
I love me some cognac. And Amanda tried to tell me the other days that I need to stop.
Wait, no. Let me clear the air what I was saying.
Let her give context.
We were talking about first date etiquette, and I was like, sometimes the girl is gotta get very cutesy drinks. She's like, I want my Hennessy with one rock in it. I just want one ice. I was like, get something else.
No, I'm trying to tell Candace, they don't really know. They don't really know.
But that's the thing. What happens is things get, the perception is important. Hennessy is it's a very, very powerful brand. They're they're like 260 years old or something like that at this point, if I'm misquoting. But so, a lot of cognac brands came after that time frame. Of course, Douce, which is a company that I work for, and the etiquette of it is great. Like, why are you not gonna drink what Jay-Z drinking?
That's true.
Why are you not gonna drink what Beyonce drinking? What are we talking about, girl?
So she talking to y'all, not me.
Your first day, you have your little cognac and
Hennessy sidecar.
That's my drink.
Her point was make it cute, and I was like,
just make it cute a little bit.
I like a little ginger ale. That's it.
I said just add a little ginger, as long as you don't add Coca-Cola. That's what this
That will mess it up.
That's what this ghetto. Do not add Coca-Cola. That is frowned upon in the cognac world because it's very lowbrow.
Now y'all know.
Giving y'all tips.
This is a unique. We're gonna always bring unique experiences here on Elevators Podcast.
Yes.
We've never had anyone that worked in the spirits industry, and I gotta say, my last name is Booze, right? So
that's so cute of me.
I have been thinking about this as we're talking about this conversation. Is you've seen so many successful spirits companies, right? For someone who wants to develop, I know we talked about entry level, but for someone who wants to develop a spirits brand, what do you feel like are some elements to help someone have a successful company? Like, is it the marketing? Is it like,
I think everything is marketing. It's also product. It's liquid. I'll call liquid. The liquid to lips experience, which is what you're doing when you drink, that's very important. The liquid is very, very important. Like, is this good? Because at this point, there's a lot of brands out there. There's so many brands that are, tequila, vodka, but there's so many in the categories. You know what I mean? It's not just where it was vodka, where it was just Belvedere, Grey Goose, Ciroc culturally, and but then now you have people with vodkas. You have people, Ja Rule, one of my really great friends, he has a whiskey. beautiful whiskey. It's called Amber Opal or something. And it's a beautiful, beautiful liquid. It's like great, you know? And so I think that it's important to master that and to also get a partner that is huge in this world. There's a gentleman named Keenan Towns. He my OG, that's my dog, it's my brother. And he's huge in his business. He launched Snoop's, what's wrong with me? Gin, not the gin and juice, but the gin. He's done so much. That's just one of them. But like, get an equity partner that knows the world. Don't try to go out here and do it on your own. You have to understand the distributors. You have to understand the on-premise market, which is your clubs, your off-premise, which are your liquor stores and things like. There's so many things. The KPIs and ROIs are really important. Like, how many drinks can you get out of one bottle, right? Mm-hmm. Like, people want these old fancy designs and everything. Okay, cool, but can you get 20 drinks out of this bottle? How much does it cost to make this glass bottle that you're putting it in? Mm-hmm. Where are you getting that from? There's a lot to do before you just jump off the porch when it comes to that. And it's also a very respected space that there's people grandfathered into, that they're not going to just let you bully them and come up in there because you think you somebody. So you need to make sure you're making relationships with the right people in that space, you know? So, absolutely. I mean, to me, it's research. It's not one thing to go. It's research, figure out what bigger distributors that you're going to go with. How can you get a meeting with them? Is that even what they're looking for? You know, you want to do a run, but maybe that's not what you want. It's a lot of celebrities that have alcohol brands that are not doing well.
Some people want to know, how can they go about getting a brand ambassador partnership or maybe like a sponsorship with these alcohol brands? Like, what does that look like? What are alcohol brands looking for when they're looking for brand partners, sponsorships, whatever?
You know, the world has changed a lot with all that's going on. And the way they market has changed. How they spend their marketing dollars has changed a lot. It's kind of hard to say at this point. It's not what it used to be. And the most important thing is to find someone that works in the brand that you can build a relationship with, that you also can bring something to the table with them and you can build with them and have something to do. Like, you know, like what your company does, that's a great partnership for Duce when we're able to have the budget to assist, because not all times you have the budget that you used to have, or it fluctuates, you know what I mean? Maybe tequila is really doing well, and the cognac category isn't doing so well. So that shifts how the marketing dollars, or vice versa. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so, but when you build something like how you guys have built it, that's something that brands care about. You have the clientele, the guests that you would want to have there. You have the titles, you have the people. It's clean. It's not problematic. It's not controversial. You know, so I think is you have to build it up. Find somebody that works for the companies, which is hard too, because sometimes you don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's
but
tough.
There's a currency in relationships.
There's
and that's
a
why
currency
you need to.
in relationships, 100%. Yeah.
I want to also talk about the fact that we all mentioned it's so tough sometimes being women in this industry. We all work in entertainment. We've all, you know, are sometimes in spaces where, especially you, in male-dominated spaces. How do you navigate that space where people may underestimate you? And what's the feeling of when you're back in a room with somebody that said, oh, you couldn't do this? Like, what's that feeling for you?
I'm not even stunned right now, I swear. Karen, don't start laughing. I'm not stunned. I don't think I've ever had that moment. I don't think I'm underestimated. I love that. I just don't think so, because I don't have that air about me. And, like, you know, I really demand excellence of myself. My team, everything around me is really important to me, you know, and so I don't think I'm underestimated. If honestly, I think sometimes I'm overly like, nah, she could do it. And I'd be like, I don't know, I could do all that. You want the birds to land on the moon? Yeah. I'm not sure, you know.
But not speaking from your perspective, from like a young girl that's trying to come out. If somebody's underestimating them, like,
don't worry about people. Yeah. Worry about what you're trying to do. Yeah. Because people get so caught up in other people and this and the validation. It's like that journey is a sad, lonely place, you know? And I'm not to say that I'm ironclad, no, and like things don't get to me. Yes, of course, but I can't worry about what anybody, that's going to take me off course. I need to be so hyper-focused on what I'm trying to do. I'm not concerned about whether you think this, and that, because there's nothing I could do about that. They're going to love you, they're going to hate you, they're going to love you again. You know what I mean? They're going to say you can't do it, they're going to deflect, they're going to do all the things. But, you know, you have to find that thing in yourself for what's important. Like, this is not my all. This is not my whole identity. You know what I mean? I'm a sister. I'm a friend. I'm a niece. I'm a cousin, I'm an auntie. These are the things that, you know, I care about. I'm a community leader, you know, I'm somebody that people can be proud of outside of just what I've done in the entertainment space, you know. So I don't get caught up in that. Like, my time with my family is equally as important as my work and my loved ones and being with my sisters and my friends and sharing life, you know.
Yeah.
And a philanthropist.
Yes.
And
we got to talk about Brown Girl Lux. We have to talk about
Brown Girl Lux. It's a charity that I created after I had fibroid surgery, had a myomectomy, and it was very, very tough. And it's still something that I'm healing from. It's a lot of things that women don't talk about, because I feel like now the conversations are happening. It's now even like written shows, like Harlem, the show that Megan Good is on. They did last season, did a whole kind of episode on that. One of the characters on there, she had fibroids and like the whole thing, and we're seeing it more and more talked about. And so I'm excited to be a part of those conversations and to be in that time. I mean, I definitely wouldn't have wanted to do it for the world, like, you know, but it happens, and we're, you know, whatever we're given, we have to make lemonade. So Brown Girl Lux.
Yes, make sure you guys support Brown Girl Lux. And we love that. Well, first of all, thank you so much for coming to the show. And we love that you share your gifts with the world, because so many women, including us, are inspired by your story and how you give back to your city of Compton and just do all these big major things. So we're glad that you came and took a stop back down here in Miami for Elevator, in the sunny state, for Elevator's podcast, Candace. So thank you so much for joining us here.
Thank you for having me. It means so much to me to be here with you, ladies. I'm so proud of you, like I said, and anytime.
No, we appreciate you. No, for sure. And when I was like, I feel like Candy's gonna be here for this weekend. Let me hit her, because you were honestly just, your energy is so awesome. Like, so sweet, awesome.
Shout out to you and your partner, what y'all doing over there.
You know we trying, girl.
No, you're doing more than that. I was at that dinner and I was inspired. It takes a lot for me to be inspired.
But honestly, like, meeting you there was like, it was written. Your energy is beautiful. Like, love watching you win, love watching you grow. And we're very appreciative of having you here. So anytime you're in Miami,
hit us up.
Pull up.
Y'all hear that? Okay, don't be trying to put me on the curb. Y'all heard I could come out.
No. You gonna we're gonna let you in. Thank you for coming.
Guys. Thank you. Okay. Yes. Thank you guys for tuning into Elevators Podcast. See you later. Bye.